So I'm gonna be honest with you. There is nothing like having your internet go down for a couple of hours, and then as it comes back up and you get ready to start your stream, for your camera to then not work. This has to get better. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder, used to be retired and comic book collector. I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. It is not the Ready, Set, Go preview show. It is the Comics Today show, a show that we do on Wednesday in order for us to celebrate the best day of the week, that being New Comic Book Day. And I want to say greetings and salutations to everyone out there. I recently received a couple of AOKs in the mail. One of them has been riding around in the car for like 3 weeks. That's recent in my mind. The other arrived about a week ago, and I have a feeling that one of them is as large as it is because I'm the host of the show. I'm guessing that is what Master Blaster had in mind when he sent me this. This is the largest punch card I think that I have ever seen in my entire life. This thing is literally the size of my face. For those folks that are listening to this on the podcast, you cannot see what I'm doing. But rest assured that it is a massive punch card. And yes, indeed, it is the size of my face. Shout out to everybody that listens to some Regie on the go by checking out this show on the podcast. On air appearance punch card. This thing is massive. Shout out to Master Blaster. Wonderful sense of humor. The other thing that I received, like I said, from 3 weeks ago, that I'm truly just now getting a good look at is a tree ornament, holiday ornament from Philtastic. It is the new Swoldier logo that we rolled out a while ago. And I'm laughing because on the back it says Philtastic 2021 for Regie. Stay robust. I had not seen that on the back. Shout out to Philtastic. I think he did a wonderful job on these ornaments, which I believe are on small like sapling tree slivers. It's like a sliver of a tree, medallion sized, and he's painted on one side, but you can see the bark on the edges. This thing is really, really cool. Super talented. I don't have those talents, so I definitely appreciate Philtastic. I appreciate you, brother. Peace, love, and comics is what is written on his note here. So again, very appreciative of that. During this show, we're going to get to a couple of things, including we're going to give away 4 books. We're going to give away 4 books as part of a recent Blue Ocean video that I rolled out. That is Marvel Premiere issue number 55, Raiders of the Lost Ark, number 1, Dazzler number 6 right there. And then G.I. Joe and Transformers issue number 1. I pulled the names like I think at 6:55. I think 6:55. So we're gonna do 2 random draws here, and we're gonna reveal the winners here momentarily. So as part of what we do with this show, we look to see what it is that you may have picked up at your local comic shop as part of New Comic Book Day. So I'm going to go to the chat here, and I want to know what it is that you guys may have picked up at the LCS earlier today. Yule is in the house. Yule is a comic shop owner in Berkeley, California. It is good to see you, brother. Thank you for swinging by. Chris Bigger is in the house, throwing up that Wonder Man. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Some of the comments, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm skipping over some of your comments because you're getting ahead of the show. I'm just going to skip over those comments until I'm ready to talk about the Mutants and Vomit thumbnail that I came up with. The internet was down, people. I was scrambling at the last minute. We are doing the best that we can here. Scrolling through Avalanche Delivery, and Avalanche Apache. Oh my gosh, Apache Delivery Service, Pennyworth, Maze Book, a couple of ones that I have not heard of. Mark Andrews, how you doing up there in Canada, brother? It is good to see you. L Smith, L Boogie. I want to say L Boogie every time. How you doing, brother? He says, "What's up? No comics for me today due to the supply chain. The LCS did not get new comics." L. Smith, I do believe that it was you that put up the wonderful comments maybe yesterday, where I released the video talking about sometimes you have to pump your brakes, slow down, cut back on comics, but there's still ways to stay involved. I think you put a wonderful comment up there about how you have reduced your pull list, your weekly pull list, so as to make money available for your various interests and hobbies. I thought that was a really wonderful and insightful comment. That the one cool thing about that video is that there were a lot of people that made some really great substantive comments on that one. So maybe I hit a chord with that video release. So Kevin says, I am Batman today. But a few days ago picked up ASM 129. Congrats to you, Kevin. That is all right. It's a cool book, man. Congrats, brother. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Rawl, I think it's Rawl. Yeah, Rawl. Late to the party on Hulk's picked up number 1 and number 2 along with his pulls. There you go. Late to the party. I think it's technically tardy for the party. Alan is in the house. How you doing, brother? I believe, Alan, that you just dropped a video. I saw a thumbnail on the Instagram right as I was starting the show. Shout out to you, brother, for continuing to put out content out there for the people to enjoy. The best. Nothing yet. Did not pick up anything at the comic shop, but he says, hope to get there tomorrow. Matt picked up ASM Batman and Thor. There you go. Scrolling through some of the comments here. I'm way behind. Wow. Jason says, I ordered all of my stuff this week. I didn't want to drive across town. Looking forward to my sketch variant of Scorched. Hope USPS is kind to me. That is the prayer that many of us send up every single time we place an order for something. Dan says, picked up too many books today. Too many to list is essentially what he's saying. I respect it, brother. Let me show you guys a couple of things that I managed to pick up. Mass Snow, too cold to go to the LCS. Come on now, brother. Come on. Don't be like that. So I picked up a couple of things. I had not been to the LCS in a couple of weeks, and I may actually quit my LCS. I'm gonna be completely honest. I may quit the LCS, and I don't even think I'm gonna do a it's me, it's not you kind of thing. I don't even think I'm gonna do that. Amazing Spider-Man issue number 82. I thought that was actually a pretty cool cover right there. It's like the outside of a building with some action happening inside. I thought that was cool. I have no clue what's going on in the story. There is issue number 83, issue number 84, issue number 85 of ASM, and then I also picked up Odin's Eye. I made a joke in a recent video about no copyright infringement there because there's 2 N's in Odin. This is from Bad Idea. This is issue number 2 right there. That is issue 3, issue 4, which I think is pretty cool. And then issue 5 right there. These are all their, what is it, the last 5 or something like that? Odin's Eye is one of the last 5, I do believe, titles. Oh, we just had a spill, people. We just dropped books on the floor. Fingers crossed that the carpet cushioned it. Fingers crossed, or else that could be detrimental. Thankfully, it fell on the long side and not on a corner. Soldier down. Soldier down. It could be fatal. That's all I'm gonna say to you. All right, let me go back to the chat real quick. Reggie, if I told you what is going on in Spider-Man, you wouldn't believe me. Yeah, brother. I have not read Spidey in a while. I continue to buy Spidey ASM specifically because I am a Spider-Man fan. I have the run, but I have not been reading it. I have not read one word of this. Beyond, I think, is the title of the story arc or the name of the story. Have not read a single word. Mass Snow, Reggie, why are you quitting your So here's the thing. I'm thinking about quitting the LCS that I go to. One, because I don't like it. I'm gonna just be completely honest. I don't care. And I'm not gonna mention a name. I don't necessarily care for the LCS. But I could say the same thing about a lot of LCSs in this area. I was honestly spoiled with the comic shops in the San Francisco area. The shop owners there, in my opinion, while some of them could be gruff, were good people, right? They were good people, personable people, and in some cases very welcoming, right? Somebody recently asked me, what is one thing I miss about San Francisco? And I was like, my shop owners. The shops here are not necessarily the same. I don't feel any kind of connection to the shops. I don't feel a connection to the owner. People don't necessarily say hello to you when you walk into a shop. Unlike, again, some of my shops in the San Francisco area, even if they did not know me, they still spoke as soon as I walked into the shop, which made you feel kind of welcomed, right? So I'm in the shop. I get there, I walk in, I grab 4 packs of bags, 4 packs of Silver Age bags, because hopefully, fingers crossed, we get the copy of the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting on Friday, or if not Friday, Monday. So I needed some bags to make sure that I could bag up everyone's book and send it out properly, that kind of stuff. So I have them sitting there, and then I kind of walk off to the side because I'm going to look at the wall. I like to look at the wall because I think they do a good job of like having a display up. And as I walk away, one of the guys says to me, there's a 2-bag cap. You cannot have 4. And then just walks away. There, no, like that was it. Done. So as I walk back to grab the 2, I put them back on the shelf, and then I see the owner at the register. I'm like, hey, is there any wiggle room here? Like I have something coming out. And like there's a reason for this. And his comment to me was, he started off saying, I'm the boss. And I'm like, well, that's why I'm talking to you, because I know you own the shop and I've met you several times at cons and at the shop. And then he basically explains that things have been in a shortage. And I'm like, well, yeah, I know that there's a shortage, sir, but I'm buying these for a reason, not to hoard them, but because I have a legitimate purpose to use them like in the next few days. And he says, well, you can't have the boards. I'm like, well, I don't want the boards. I want the bags because that's what I had. And he says, okay, you can go. So it was an unnecessary thing that happened in front of other people that could have really been avoided, and it's just, I don't know, it's just one thing after another. So I may end up moving on from this LCS. I may end up just honestly, to the point of one of my videos, I may end up taking advantage of the 30 some odd percent from like mycomicshop.com and ordering my books there and having them shipped to me. That may be the better way for me to go, right? So we will see. I need to noodle it some more and come to a decision. But I do miss the comic shops in San Francisco, because they were dope. They were dope shops and good people. So Matt Snow says, Reggie, I feel you. Same situation here. That's why I left. I feel you. I get it, brother. Sometimes you gotta move on. Dan says, I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled in Montreal. Well, good for you. Good for you. No, he says, I'm spoiled here in Montreal. My local LCS is awesome, always welcoming, friendly, and help. It's amazing, man. If you're like nice and you have good customer service, I want to give you money. Like I will go out of my way to give you money versus somebody that I don't necessarily care for, right? I mean, it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward, right? I don't know. If somebody came to my shop, like people are always surprised that when they comment on my videos that I comment back. You might not like what I say, but I do read the comments and I do comment back because I think that it's the right thing to do. If you watch my content, you leave a comment, you deserve a response. It's super simple. You walk into my comic shop. If I owned one, I would say, hello, greetings to you. Welcome to my shop. Please spend money, right? I mean, I wouldn't say that, but essentially I'm gonna be like, hey, why don't you spend some money up in here, right? Brother, I stuff like that, man. I don't fight about it, and I'm not opposed to fighting. I will verbally spar with someone any day. I don't shy away from conflict. That's not my thing. It's just not worth it. I see no benefit. I see no benefit at all to that. I just try to avoid when the LCS will be busy, brother. It wasn't even busy, brother. It wasn't even busy. Seriously. It was like a couple of people in there. So I would get that. We all have our days. Yeah, man. And I mean, I come to your shop, dude. You could barely step in the door at your shop before you or your brother were saying hello and being nice, right? Everybody has their day, but it's been consistent. And it's been consistent with one specific person, like really bad, where I'm like, bro, you like having a bad day like every day that I come in here? Because you seem to have a little spin on your comments to me. Little curt. The LCS graded Reggie. Lewis, thank you for bringing us back home, brother. Thank you for bringing us all the way back. Mass snow took us off track. Lewis picked up Shadow Doctor off of the Phoebe full set of readers. There you go. He's looking forward to getting that. And that's the thing. I don't even think that they know who I am. I'm just a regular person in there. I'm just a regular person in that shop. And it's just like, I don't care who you are, man. Just be polite, be nice, be courteous, you know? It just I mean, Squirrel Madness, brother, I know you're under the weather. Squirrel Madness is over there shaking his head. People don't understand customer service. And I don't, I'm telling you, I do not get it. I do not get it. I am way behind in the comments. Let me scroll down. All right. So let me do this. Let me Mass Snow is apologizing for taking us off course. It is all good, brother. We are going to riff. We're going to rip and respond here and just kind of riff on some things just because, again, I was a little off with the internet being out for such a long period of time today. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and announce one of the winners of the Blue Ocean giveaway sponsored by Doug Bratton. Shout out to Doug. Gave us 4 Blue Ocean books. I think Doug's goal was to spread these books out. I think he was like, he gave them to me at GarageCon. That's how long I've had these books. He was like, spread them out. I recorded a video feeling frisky at like midnight. I gave them all away in one video. Feeling frisky, like forget it. Let's just do it all. So shout out to Doug. I think that video, brother, has been watched like over 4,000 times. So maybe there's some magic to just giving away all the stuff in one specific video. So let me go ahead and do this real quick. I'm going to announce the first winner. The first name that I pulled is this guy right here, Turbo Man. And you can see here I pulled this at 5:52. Very informative video going to search for the interview with Ross, and he's specifically talking about Ross Ritchie, where we sat down and talked about the potential shared universe for the Hasbro for Hasbro. So shout out to Turbo Man. I believe, well, fingers crossed, Turbo Man, that you are in North America. I need you to send me an email to Regie at regiecollects.com, and I will bundle up 2 of these books and send them off to you. I don't know which 2, but we're going to bundle those 2 up and shoot those out to Turbo Man. So shout out to you, brother. Congrats. Thank you again for taking the time to watch that video and leave behind a substantive comment talking about how informative Doug. Oh, he's here. Oh, snap, crackle, and pop. Turbo Man is in the house. Turbo Man, if you send me an email by the time this show is over, don't leave the chat because I will be watching. But if you send me an email telling me which 2 books you want, I will prioritize that. Mass Snow says, if you want crazy views, give away that Daredevil one. Mass Snow, you are on a roll, sir. You are on a roll, sir. First, you take me off track of what we intended to talk about, and now you're just throwing out crazy ideas. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't care about YouTube that much. I don't care about YouTube that much to give away Daredevil 1 back there on the wall, the 7.0. That's just not gonna happen. So I'm gonna just tell you right now, it's a bad idea. Okay, just a bad idea. Scrolling through the comments again. Shout out to Turbo Man for winning the first one. And I will tell you, we actually have a backup. In case one of these people is not in North America, we have a backup. And I can tell you that the backup is in the room. Backup is in the room. I will not announce who the backup is, but the backup is in the room right now. All right. So the very first thing that I want to talk about is something that, like, a lot of you talked about right as the show began. And I should have blocked you all. I should have just blocked every single person that made the announcement that Eternals is now available on Disney Plus. This movie, by many reports, is ungood. There are many people, critics, fans of comics alike, that have said that this movie is ungood. You know what? I'm gonna sit down and watch this movie. I'm going to sit down and watch this movie as soon as this show is over. I had planned to watch it before the show, but as I mentioned, the internets were out, and I stared at a white screen that said, like, this website is unavailable. That was like the error message that I was getting from the Disney Plus app as I was attempting to log in. But we are going to watch Eternals here, hopefully tonight. I've heard that it is a lot of dialogue, not a whole lot of action. Well, the action that was in there reportedly is superficial. But this is Eternals. It is now streaming on the Disney Plus app. I am actually looking forward to watching this. It is a couple of stars in there. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this. I don't know if anyone has started watching it this evening. Chris Bigger is like, I really don't know if I want to watch. First of all, you're a DC Top Cow guy, so you're probably not going to like Eternals. You're probably not going to like it. I'm going to go out and go on a limb and say Jeremy Price says, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't watch it. Whereas Regie, watch Eternals. It has a nice adult comic. What is it? Comic book movie. Very little slapstick, refreshing. Okay, all right. So Mass Snow is back on the board. You're back in the good graces here. He says it might be a good watch, more for adults. I'm guessing what you're referring to. Very little slapstick is the humor that has found its way into a lot of the MCU movies. So there you go. Dan says, I'm planning to watch it right after the show. Well, hey, I think a couple of us will be watching it. Pretty Fly says Eternals is the Star Trek of the MCU. Brother, you had me at hello. Okay, you had me at hello. I binged watch over this last like week and a half, 2 weeks. Essentially 4 seasons of Star Trek Discovery. I will not say that it is the best Star Trek out there, right? Because there is no best. I think that it is incredibly good. There was somebody that wanted to debate me on that, but I think what they were hearing was me saying that it was the best, and I did not say that. It is remarkably good. And one of the things that I like about Star Trek, this Discovery specifically, is the human element of it. So many of the other Star Trek series, I think, have been devoid of emotion and human connection. But in Discovery, they lean into that. They lean into the interpersonal relationships, the personal development. You see the character go on this wonderful journey of like discovery of who she is and coming into her own. And there's a lot of emotion in it. And it's very different from the other series, but I think in a really good way. So definitely a good show. If you guys have not seen Discovery, man, treat yourself because I think it's really good. But I binge watch 4 seasons of that. Definitely thought it was good. What are you talking about, Regie? What? I was expecting Regie to be wearing a sweater and pipe with that back. Are you talking about my wood background? Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, the wood background in one of those videos I released recently, I thought it looked good, man. I mean, I might need a smoking jacket and a pipe and like some brandy or something like that, you know. I have watched the Boba Fett. I have watched it. I will tell you, I found the Boba Fett on Disney Plus to be a little slow. It's like watching sand in an hourglass at various points. But when it's not boring, it is actually pretty good. This journey that Boba Fett is on, I find really interesting. I don't have the depth of knowledge with Star Wars that a lot of people do. So I think that there's some things that get by me. But generally speaking, he's on this really great journey. That last episode with those, I don't know what those desert or the sand, the desert creatures are. I don't know what they are, but I enjoyed that episode. Like that whole journey that he was on with those guys, earning their respect. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was pretty darn good. Episode 1, it was like it was slow. It was slow. So I enjoyed the Eternals. Chris Bigger, hey, that Spider Dude movie was pretty not bad. I don't even know what you're saying. I don't even know what you're saying there, sir. Scrolling through, I am way behind again on comments. I have no clue what those people were called. Regie, treat yourself. Get into, man, I've tried, brother. I've tried to watch some of the Star Wars stuff. I like The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is dope. But Star Wars itself, I'm on struggle bus. I'm on the struggle bus. I don't know if I can get beyond the struggle bus. I just don't know. I mean, in many ways, you are either a Star Trek person or Star Wars, and I am a Star Trek person. Like I legitly have watched every Star Trek series ever, and some of them more than once. Not every episode, I will tell you that, but there you go. All right. So the other reason why I wanted to bring up the Eternals is because and this pays off the thumbnail. I want to pay off the thumbnail about the vomit. About the vomit. There's an article that has come out on Newsarama that gives us a possible path for the mutants to enter the MCU, and it is through the Eternals movie. They specifically talk about the most recent, Eternals related arc that came out that talked about the Celestials fighting the Horde and how one of the Celestials became infected by the Horde and literally died and excreted various bodily fluids onto the earth that begat superhumans and mutants. And so they are basically saying through the Eternals and through the presence potentially of the Celestials in that movie in Earth or on Earth, that is potentially how they're going to introduce mutants into the MCU. And this is a continuation of various theories that have been out there, going back to the original story that Jack Kirby told about the Celestials and the genetic experiments and all that kind of stuff and the celestial eggs. And now it is tying in some of the more recent retconning that is happening. And they're basically saying that there are paths forward for mutants to be introduced, and this is one of the possible ways. So Chris Bigger, this guy, hey man, you make me laugh. He said someone pooped in the woods and then mutants came to be. Again, that is a plausible path forward for mutants to come into existence. So the Earth was at risk of infection with the Horde. The antibodies present in the Celestials' vomit took hold and allowed Earth to survive and fight off the Horde infection. The antibodies in the Celestial vomit manifested on Earth as the rise of superpowers among human beings, and even led directly to the evolution of mutants, theoretically, as beings powerful enough to repel the Horde, effectively becoming living antibodies themselves, capable of fighting off the most destructive force in the known universe. And so I guess the idea is that the Horde, as part of the final host that was captured in the Avengers, is essentially the yin, the destructive element to the Celestials yang, which is creation. And so again, it's just an interesting concept that I wanted to share with you guys. This actually came again in Newsarama. The title of this article is Eternals: Could Celestial Vomit Bring Mutants and the X-Men into the MCU? I don't know if Kevin Feige's gonna go the route of vomit. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't know if it would be that, because it's kind of quirky. It's kind of quirky. As I typed it into the into the thumbnail, I was like, I don't know about this one, but we are running short on time, so that's why I ended up doing it. All right. So let me go back to the chat real quick. Let me see. I think they'll explain it by saying mutants have always been there, just been hiding. One of the other theories is like the Terrigen Mist. That's one of the other like little retcon ideas that came up. It could be the Terrigen Mist, because part of it is, yes, they could be hiding. That's a plausible theory. But there's also this idea that potentially the best way to do it is to have some sudden event actually occur that takes place that begats mutants. The challenge, of course, is that would mean that all mutants are starting from essentially square one. So you're looking at like the super young X-Men versus a more mature X-Men team, the one that we've all like by and large loved in the 90s. So I don't know which way the wind's gonna blow on this thing. I don't know which way it's gonna go, whether it's gonna go again, from the origin, which would require them to retell some of the old Fox stories, or whether they're going to jumpstart it elsewhere. It'll be very, very interesting to see how some of this plays out. Doug Bratton is throwing out another concept that I don't know. I don't know if I've heard of this one, but he is basically saying the multiverse being introduced in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, could be one of the ways in which mutants could be introduced. That is as plausible as any other. I would actually put it higher on the probability list above Celestial Vomit. I would just put it up. Celestial Vomit is like way at the bottom. Multiverses, up there. There you go. Night Cannabis is pointing out that if Wakanda can hide, so can Krakoa. Yeah, the problem is not all mutants are on Krakoa, right? Not all mutants are on Krakoa. You could go that path, right? But there are way more mutants out there in the world that are not on Krakoa, and therefore there would have to have been some reports of these supernatural, superhuman type of things occurring. Again, I'm spitballing. All of you could be right. I mean, not all of you. Some of you going to be wrong, but any of these are plausible theories. Any of them are plausible theories. It all depends upon how they want to tell the story, right? And at the end of the day, I don't care what they say. Give me some mutants, give me some X-Men, and do it incredibly well, and I will show up. Not necessarily at the theater. Not there, but I will show scrolling through so many comments here. What is that? Professor X keeping the mutants hidden, says Chris Bigger. Again, all plausible using some Cerebro. He has the ability to mask everyone. It's possible. Doug Bratton is throwing in here. I think he watched a recent show with Mikey Sutton, and Doug is saying that Mikey Sutton said that Wolverine will appear in Doctor Strange. Again, I don't care how they do it. Just make the magic of the X-Men happen. And again, my theory, at least I thought that we were going to get the Fantastic Four before the X-Men, but potentially we won't. Potentially we will not. Potentially we will get some mutants. I mean, definitely mutants are definitely more popular than the Fantastic Four, but I just assumed that we would see some FF magic first. I'm definitely excited about both. So Reggie with 2 G's. I am not going to read this comment out because the thing is, the people that are listening to this on the podcast later will not understand this comment. So we are not going to read it, but I will throw it up on the screen here for those that are in the room to actually enjoy that comment. All right, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and give away another pair of books to one lucky subscriber who watched the recent Blue Ocean video and left a substantive comment behind. We've already given away one pair of books. The second pair of books will go to Best Core. Best Core says, I don't know anything about it, but I feel like Dungeons and Dragons is so untapped. Big things could happen. Who knows? And you guys can actually see there were over 220 names that were entered into this one. I think this is one of the larger giveaways that we've actually done. This was literally done within the same minute as the first one at 5:52. Shout out to Best Core as the second winner. Again, Best Core. And also Turbo Man, please send me an email to Regie@RegieCollects.com. Do not send it to my Gmail, Regie@RegieCollects.com. I like to save all of this stuff for my records in terms of who you are, but I need to know your screen name, your government name, and also your mailing address. And I will bundle this stuff up and send it out to you. Regurgitate is a nicer word. Yes, but it is also very long and it does not fit as well as vomit. Well done, Mark. Well done. He is trying to keep us clean over here. And No Way Home, when reality broke, it could have broken worldwide and thereby allowing mutants to appear worldwide, says Shane Clearwater. Again, viable approaches to how they could do it. again, the team that is responsible for the MCU movies is incredibly talented, and I have no doubt that they are going to introduce mutants when they are ready, and they are going to do so incredibly well, as evidenced, hopefully, by the most recent Spider-Man movie, which I have not seen, but I've heard wonderful things about. Huge shout out to my man Comic Tom. If you are interested in snagging one of the first print Regie collects homage to Wizard One, you can actually sign up for the comic mail call, the mystery mail call over at Comic Tom 101. These are first print. Shout out to Tom for collaborating with me and being able to put those out, where by which if you get into the mail call, you get one copy in each mail call mystery box that actually goes out. So there you go. Somebody was like, do I still have a chance? I do believe. I think that the thing closes, his mystery mail call sign up closes around the 20th or something like that. I don't know all the dates. Confident that if you head over to Comic Tom 101, you will find all of the details over there. There you go. Scrolling through the comments here. I think I am all caught up. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man. We worked on this. We worked on this for quite some time. We worked on this. There was a lot of back and forth between Tom, myself, Nate Made It, who is the artist that actually did this, and Scott, who is my graphics guy. And Tom reached out and he was like, "How do you feel about putting yourself on the cover?" I was like, I don't know about that. But then I was like, let's do it, right? It's your cover. You're paying for it, buddy. So he did it, and I think it turned out really cool. I think the fact that I loved Wizard and I love Spider-Man is really cool. I don't know that I would have come up with this. I do not know that I would have come up with a cover like that, but I definitely dig it. There is a reason why I trust creative people, and I think Tom is a creative guy, and definitely Nate Made It is also a good guy and a super talented guy. So a couple of people in here jumping in. Tom Linux and also Chris Bigger are giving us some details. So thank you, brother, for that. They are saying that the cutoff for the mystery mail call is the 15th. So you have a couple of more days to be able to get in there. Thank you guys for passing on those details. I definitely appreciate that. Kimball is saying, I need to complete my Uncanny X-Men run before they bring the mutants. Brother, I respect that. I respect that. Mark Andrews is asking a very provocative question here. He is asking me if I have any reference photos of me in the pose, in the Spider-Man pose. I'm gonna tell you right now, brother, I am 45 years old. Reggie does not bend that way. Reggie does not bend this way, and my arms are no longer that big. Unfortunately, dadhood got me. Dadhood got me. I am no longer flexible. It just does not work that way. Let me see. I love that cover. There is one that I might like slightly better. What cover is that, pray tell, sir? What cover is it that you actually prefer? I ask you, Dave Bratton, brother of Doug Bratton. My guess is that it is this cover right here, which is the one that you worked on with Adam, very talented colorist. You guys did a solid job on this project. I definitely appreciate it. And as I mentioned, we have printed 450 copies of this guide. I am hopefully going to be picking it up on Friday of this week, Monday at the latest, and then immediately packaging things up and sending out orders to people. So please continue to bear with me as I make magic happen. Pretty fly Gumby action. There you go, brother. Gumby action indeed. My man Lee Atkins is in here. It's good to see you, brother. Lee is the administrator for the Discord server. If you guys are not checking out the Discord server to kind of continue the conversation, I definitely want to encourage you guys to do so. There's a lot of wonderful content over there. You can show off your room, talk about recent pickups, trade some books. You can just chat. If you are a YouTube content creator at a certain level of engagement, you have the ability to post up your videos for other people to watch. You can post it in the chat for people to check out. And if you are a Patreon member of a certain level, there is also a private Patreon section there for people to be able to check out. So shout out to Dave. People seem to really like the cover, man. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to bundle up the second print of the guide and send it out to folks. There are a couple of, I think, really cool elements that are part of the second print that I'm waiting for people to discover and enjoy. So, Serge, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. All right. So the very last thing that I want to talk about is a new artist, no, a new old artist that also doesn't sound right. John Romita Jr. is returning to Spider-Man. So let me throw this up real quick. This actually dropped on comicbook.com. Marvel announces John Romita Jr.'s return to Spider-Man. This actually came out just yesterday, again on comicbook.com. Legendary comic book artist John Romita Jr. is making a return to Amazing Spider-Man this spring. Marvel made the announcement by revealing a piece of penciled artwork from Romita Jr. featuring Spider-Man swinging above a car on a busy New York street, along with the note that Romita Jr. returns in April's Amazing Spider-Man, and more details will be revealed soon. So if you guys remember, John Romita started to make a little bit of a splash not that long ago. They actually gave away one of his variants as part of the transition over to Penguin. They actually gave away a John Romita variant that he had drawn featuring a bunch of different characters. And so now it looks like John Romita Jr. is going to be coming back. And this is the sketch. And it looks pretty cool. It's a cool looking sketch. Him hanging out. It's a nice vantage point of him, I guess, above a van. It probably looks like a van to me. It looks pretty cool. So John Romita Jr., the legend returns to Amazing Spider-Man, April 2022. I don't know who the writer is going to be, to be honest with you. I did not read that deeply into this article, and I did not get a chance to do any additional research. But it should be cool. Should be cool having him back. John Romita Jr. is a super talented artist that has done some good work for Marvel in years past, and now it appears that he is returning to do some additional things. So, former Uncanny X-Men artist, says Lee Atkins, I think Spider-Man is the character he does best, says action figure comedy Turbo Man is getting on board with that. That's very good news, says Mark. A lot of people seem to enjoy that. There you go. There you go. So is the second print run less print run? So Jeremy Price, let me run it down for you real quick. So we have printed 450 copies of the second print. I believe, and I would have to look at my notes, we have essentially sold about 420 copies, but I need to reconcile that with all of the orders. So you might wonder why the extra. The extra is to cover any damages and defective copies that we may get that may have smudges or other print errors. And my goal will be to only sell the highest quality of book. That's why we had to do a couple of extra copies across the three different covers, because there are three. There's a trade dress, there's a red cover, and then a purple cover. The purple cover is the least printed. The red version is the second least printed, and then the cover A, which is the trade dress, has the most print. And yes, we did make a lot less money, if that's what you're asking, and we did because the price for the second print actually went up as a result of us adding additional pages and content and having to change the method of binding because of the extra pages, because of paper costs right now. Profit margin is down, but it is par for the course because it is a gorgeous cover. It is, I think, a guide that is jam-packed full of really awesome information that I cannot wait to put in the hands of hopefully at least 420 people out there. That is the magic that is going to get made when we actually start shipping this thing out. Mark says repackage the rejects as the variant. Hey, you never know. You never know where you might see the rejects. Honestly, a lot of times with the rejects, I rip the covers off and or my family members take them. That's what happened with some of the rejects from the first print. My family members were here. They took the ones that weren't of the best quality, and In some cases even paid for them, unless you were my little sister who just took them. She just does not pay. Tina's like, I love the purple cover. There you go. There you go. So scrolling through some of the comments here. Yeah, I did buy one. There you go. Jeremy picked up one. That's what's up. There you go. There you go. Well done. So what's funny is that I went over to the printer. I went over to the printer and I took her my reader copy, because I have a reader copy. The one you guys always see me show in the video is literally the same copy. It is ripped right at the top. So I get to the printer, I show her it so she could see the quality of the first book, so that she understands what we're aiming for, right? So I had to personally go over and talk to her and stuff like that. And I gave it to her and I looked her in her eyes and I said, I need this back, right? Because it is like, I have a couple of file copies for myself, but this is like my only copy that I kind of manhandle here in the room for like the purpose of demonstration and videos and all that other kind of stuff. So I was like, I need this copy back. Look at me, Leslie. I need it back. So I think she got it. And then what I will tell you is, in the event that we have fewer defects, the overage books will probably be offered up on regiecollects.com, but I will not know that delta until I process through all of the orders. And just as a reminder, you cannot buy any of the covers. I know a lot of people like the purple, they like the virgin purple, and they like the virgin red. You cannot purchase specific covers. You can get a copy, and randomly I'm going to be inserting the certain number quantity of the variants into the orders that are outbound. And I do not know the method of my madness, other than I'm going to box it up as quickly as I can and put it in the mail, and it'll be what it will be for people. So we're going to try to make that magic happen just as quickly as we can. All right. So again, quick shout out to Best Core and also to Turbo Man for being the winner of the giveaway that we are doing. So this is G.I. Joe and Transformers issue number 1, Dazzler issue number 6, Raiders of the Lost Ark issue number 1, and Marvel Premiere Wonder Man 55. If you do not know what the deal is with these books, you definitely need to watch the Blue Ocean book video. I think the video's title is Get These Books Now, or something provocative like that. So definitely check it out. It is worth it. I think it's actually a pretty good thing. Who is Reggie? Who is the backup? Oh, I'm not telling you who the backup is. There's no point. No. I think both of these people are in North America. So as soon as they claim their stuff, we're going to go ahead and ship them out. Hey, check it out. I do have an invisible variant as well. It is $1,000. Please send me that money to Regie at regiecollects.com via PayPal, $1,000, and I will immediately mail out your invisible comic today. Rest assured that I will make that magic happen. I foresee a wave of distinguished readers. So if you guys don't know, I'm going to throw this out here right now. I want to throw it out there for people to think about. If you get a copy of the second print, we did something really fun, kind of like impromptu or whatever, whereby which people would post up or send to me photos of them reading the guide, because I want people to read it, right? I did a whole series of clips and posts and stuff like that on people that are distinguished readers that are reading the guide, and a lot of people like went all out. Double A Comics on Instagram, he had like on a full holiday suit. It was incredible. It was incredible. Red holiday suit. Mark Andrews has sent a couple of himself and his boys dressed up in cosplay. Just a lot of really fun stuff. So if you do get a copy of the second print, consider posting that photo up on social media, tagging me, or you can send it over to me via Instagram or on email, and I will find a way to share it out, because I think that it is really just fun stuff. Let me see. Can I get an invisible receipt? Absolutely. Absolutely. There you go. That is, I'm going to write out all the visible receipts right now. Oh, you guys are hilarious. You guys, hey, no, The invisible, the $1,000 has to be it. You know what? It can actually be invisible in the form of PayPal digital transactions or cryptocurrency. That is literally invisible dollars. I'm good with that. I'm good with cryptocurrency. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me for this live stream. I honestly do have a lot of fun during these live streams, and I think you guys do as well. So I want to say thank you for that. You do not have to show up for these live streams, but I'm glad that you guys do it. I'm glad that everyone just has a good time. Wonderful senses of humor in here by and large, minus a couple of you guys making crazy comments about like giving away Daredevil 1 and stuff like that for views. Just crazy, crazy, crazy nonsense. As always, if you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.